Some quick target practice. I'll go back to working on our skills on customs. Generally speaking, I'd never spend the money on upgrading this unless I was gonna put a Goliath, which is like out of my price range right now. But I build one and I have it laying around, so I'm running it right now. Performance level just really isn't that like it's not improved very much. Like if you put a light and a scope on it, like first of all it's kind of awkward because you have to get the attachments. It's not just like a dust cover, and then it just really doesn't make the gun that much better. Whereas if you just run it like as is with a big mag and a butt pad and then like a muzzle brake, it's pretty much as good as it gets. And then if you want to go all out, you get like the really badass handguard, the Goliath handguard. You can make it pretty good, but even then you gotta compare it to like other weapons that you've invested that much into, as well as like the munitions you'd be shooting out of it. And I don't know, maybe on like maps like Factory, it could actually be competitive if you were just like shooting the Golnick rounds out of it. It'd probably be pretty disgusting because it's like a little SMG, but I'm not sure it even holds a candle to like a fully decked MK47 that's just like launching BP rounds like a laser beam, you know. But like right out the gate, you spend 85k on it, and like in terms of like low to mid tier combat, you're like a fucking killer, man. Like, especially as soon as you can start affording like BP rounds, and so then instead of like filling your mags with PP rounds and BT rounds, now it's just like BP and BT rounds, and like that shit fucking kills, man. It slays. It's like killer. But yeah, I find like a lot of guns, like, well, a lot of the loadouts is just like low tier, mid tier, high tier. Like low tier is just like a dude running in with a shotgun and like flechette rounds, you know. It's like the lowest of the low, you know, maybe like a pistol or a hatchet runner. And then mid tier is like, you know, running decent armor and like a decent weapon with like decent ammo, I guess, but not like the most incredible kill time. And then like high tier is like best armor, best ammo, best weapons. The guns shoot like laser beams. The ammo just shreds anybody, you know. And the kill times are like in a split second. Where well, one of the biggest things is the kill times. Like the kill time of the baby AK isn't overwhelming. It's not underwhelming, but it's not like a vector full of AP 6.3 that's just gonna like put 11 bullets in you in like a second's time, you know, or however that math is. So and you just like shot 30 rounds. It's like there's like no competing with that. Like not really. Although the overall firepower of it. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of different like numbers and things you could look at. Like, technically speaking, the kill time of every weapon, so long as the round can one shot through any helmet, is like instantaneous, right? But it's not exactly a realistic kill time, you know. But at the highest level, that's really what it comes down to. It's like kill time, and then how much money you spent on it, and then like how well it shoots. Does it shoot like it's supposed to, or is it just like all over the place, you know? And then so that's like all the high tier weapons, but then even among those weapons, there's like what weapons you will run for what environments. Like if you're in factory, the weapon you're gonna choose is generally different than if you're like on woods in this like giant open space, you know? Like the best weapon in that environment is not the same, but you will be pulling from a pool of high tier weapons so long as like you have the choice, right? And then like it seems like if it's too easy to get high tier weapons, people get super frustrated with the game because it's like everybody's just getting shut out by like sweaty nerds with vectors, and then like there isn't much meta. But then whenever they change like flea market to level 20, now that like you see a bunch of people running around with like, you know, average gear, and so it's like a lot of mid level fighting, which is I mean it's a lot of fun. I mean high tier fighting's fun too, but it's not fun whenever you just feel like you're totally shut out and you just gotta like get your ass kicked for like 45 hours of gameplay before you could like even compete. Like that's not very fun, right? But like mid tier fighting is like, well, it's the most common form because that's where like the vast majority of the player base's skill levels at. And I don't know, it's just like it's a fun way to fight. And then like say you run something like the baby AK, it's gonna give you a pretty substantial edge on the competition in like mid tier fighting. But that sweaty dude with the vector is just gonna delete you. Like you can't run it down with them. And that's essentially what you want to do, is you just want to like get up close and personal. But like your best case scenario is like insufficient to the amount of hurt they can put on you. Oh yeah, I didn't fucking shoot my gun. It was a terrible spawn to just unload like 60 rounds. Everyone's gonna know. What the fuck? That's unfortunate. Remind me to empty my docs case. Fucking shit. Lesson learned. Never again. I've become wise today. Okay, it's gonna be fucking ridiculous, but I don't even care. It's gonna be so unsafe in real life. They'll never find it. This fucking game sometimes, dude. That's hilarious. Watch, there's gonna be some dude out here. Five 8 1 up. That's worth heaps. 21. So it's like 21k. I don't know if it's worth it. It's alright. It's not the end of the world. Shit's kinda laggy right now. Should've restarted my PC. It's okay. I mean, not really. Life's too short to play on fucking busted up rigs. That's what I decided. Like, I just refuse to play FPS games if my shit's laggy. It's like discourage people from playing if they're like on a busted rig, but I just don't have enough time in my life to like try and get good at something that like I could never be as good as I truly am, because I'm just like at a constant handicap. Like, you know, like people with like the same level of skill, only one of them has to deal with lag and is like never landing the shots they would have always landed if like their shit was running smooth. They'll like they'll lose substantially more games than the person who's like shit's running clean. So I just won't do it. Like I straight up will not play a game if it's just like fucking laggy, dude. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore, man. And it's like really you're not even developing the same skills at that point, because you're developing skills to like be good playing a laggy piece of shit, instead of like developing skills to like actually hit the target, you know? It's like, no, now you gotta like lead, and like you can't even do all the things you're supposed to be able to do. Now you gotta like fucking play this whole certain way because it's like the only way to get a clear sight picture or whatever. Like, I'm just done, dude. I refuse. Life is too short for that shit. I drop like 1,500 on this PC. Like $800 on my graphics card is like just barely sufficient. I like looked up what the stats were and all that. I was like, what's the cheapest, best graphics card I could fucking buy? Fucking got this shit. I bought a Titan XP for like $800. As soon as I bought it, it bumped up to 1,000. It's like all the Bitcoin farmers and shit. And now it's starting to get like banned in China, Bitcoin farming. So now you can buy like a 3080 for like $200 over there. Some shit, dude. It's ridiculous. Fucking state of the world, man. Bloody hell, man. Should have gone through the building. There's still a bunch of valuable shit potentially in that other room, but just can't be bothered. Probably shouldn't be though. Hey, the 2 water filters, let's go. Look at them looking all gorgeous. Looking gorgeous. Yo, I think someone actually came through here and locked this. Something's like a low up. There's supposed to be stuff here. That hatching crate wasn't supposed to be totally empty. You know, it'd be one thing if like playing at a disadvantage actually makes you better. Like in real life, it kind of does. Like no lie. But the reality is it's like you're not even working on the same skills. Like it's not the same fucking technique. Like it's like not even the same game. It's like you're playing hockey, but you don't have a stick, and like all you can do is like use like the blades on your fucking on your fucking skates, you know. That's what it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, who the fuck wants to play hockey like that, man? I mean, I did for a long ass time just because like I didn't have a decent computer, but fucking should have washed my hands of that long ago, man. Fucking can't stand that shit anymore, dude. Like my life has gotten so much better since I like got my PC. Okay, so what I gotta watch out here for is people that just made their rounds and now they're gonna come to 0-12 to extract. That's what I'm gonna be running into soon. So I can expect them to either come from New Gas or from over the checkpoint area. Well, they'll actually have to come through like the factory buildings area. I don't think they can hop over. They might. Door kicker, scav vest. Should have like a red key card in it. Go! Maybe EFT, what the fuck, will finally play my highlights. I'm good at the game, acknowledge me. Just kidding, I'm not that good at this game. I'm getting a lot better though. That's where I'm at. Like I'm to the point where like, as a kid, I was always playing like Counter-Strike and shit like that. It's like definitely an avid gamer from a very young age. I was always playing on like busted rigs and shit, and then I never really had like proper coaching, and I never really like learned how to learn and get good at shit. And so like now it's like I'm on like a proper PC, and I've learned miscellaneously through like other things like wanting to sell real estate and shit and like getting all those skills. I've learned how to learn, and so now I'm like to the point where I'm like improving and I'm starting to grasp all these concepts that I could just like never get before. Before it was just like, you run at them and shoot them, and if you see them first, you get them, you know? It's like, it's as complicated as that shit got, and now I'm like really breaking things down and starting to improve. So that's where I'm at right now, you know? I'm not there yet, but in like 6 years, dude, I'm gonna be a scary, scary man. Okay, so what is our objective this fucking game? We wait for a block. Okay, just head back through town. Get old gas, get safes and all that. Honestly, I just like got a fuck ton of loot. I should probably just extract and call it a day. It's not that good, but I'd rather just tag out and get back in. Let's see how I go. I don't think this is a very good way to go, though. Not gonna lie, this is kind of shit. Can get some satchels up here. Maybe I get some more goodies. Just feel too exposed. I'm like disoriented. So the biggest thing about walking through areas like this is something I kind of learned from Pestily indirectly. Is remain in a state of orientation. See, if I'm just sprinting and I'm like ah, then like I can't focus on anything going on around me. But if I like, you know, collect myself and I'm like here and I'm looking at everything, and as I'm moving forward I'm keeping an eye on everything. Especially if I know where to look. If someone pops up, I'll be like, oh shit, and I'll aim at him. And like, say they see me, now we're shooting at each other. Whereas if I didn't do that, I'd be completely hopeless to find that dude, other than just being fucking lucky as shit. And then B, if I don't see them and they see me, now they're shooting at me, and I'm not shooting at them. So they're just fucking unloading freely. And I gotta run around like a fucking jackass with his head cut off, like, fucking, don't kill me, please! You know, like, fucking, so remain in a state of orientation. And at some point, you know, it's not even about, like you're just gonna do this ultimate technique that keeps you from getting shot. It's more like, if they can shoot you, you can shoot them more often than not. And if you're not shooting them, they're usually just fucking, it's like target practice, right? And you do not want to be target practice. That's the moral of that story. No one wants to be target practice. It is a bad time. See, that was an echo, or I just heard someone up there. This is why I probably didn't want to go this way. It's okay, I'm just gonna hit the factory buildings and push through RUAF that way. Oh, this is so unsafe. Such a jackass for doing this. I swear it's like sound echoing off of shit or something, but it is fucking messing with me, man. I don't know what the fuck is going on sometimes. Oh, I knew I heard someone. Just a scab. Scabs will have like predictable movement patterns. So that's one way to tell. If you hear someone running and they stop really fast. If I die. Okay, that was shit assessment. I shouldn't have just stood there and kept shooting. I should have moved. Because they could have shot back and I wasn't killing them in time. They could have just railed me in the face. Hey, thank you for finally dying. Good shooting, Tex. I guess it was nice shooting. We'll be here all week. Zeroed up their armor. 20k rubles, I'll take it. That's how we check scavs bodies. The server seems really dead. Seems like everyone was here, just rushed dorms and bailed. That's kind of what it feels like. Yeah, like in terms of assessment, they had an SKS. They're shooting PS rounds, but I'm pretty well geared, but they could have just shot me in the face. And I was sitting there just like pop, 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 and like missing. It gets to a point where it's like time to fucking, like you had a shot and now fucking move so you don't get shot. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta make the choice, right? It's like you're either gonna double down.
What the?
Or you're gonna be smart about it and just assess that you can't win this fight and you're gonna get the fuck out of there, because that's what you gotta do. So I don't think this is worth much. Bye bye. Don't need you. Caps ain't worth much. Bolts I'll keep. Oh snap, that's a propane. Gonna be selling propane and propane accessories. You can go. That would be heavy as shit though. $49 kilos. I gotta run this ship past fortress and shit now. It's gonna be rough. Yeah, you just pop a propitol. Alright. That's gonna be meta, dude, just wait. Now we wait for like 30 seconds. Is there anything I can drop? Drop the UMP. Oh yeah, that's gone. See, like, that's actually really useful. It just takes too long. And a lot of people, like, they don't want to play that stuff. A lot of people are just super W key. I don't know why, but I have never used this extract successfully. I'm not even sure it like functions. But I'm gonna try it. Yeah, I don't know. Should probably figure it out. Will you fucking do the thing that fucking... Okay, dude. Pretty sure you can do that. I don't know if you need more strength or less weight or something. 43 kilos. Dovetail. Anytime you're moving across a field and you might be getting shot at, never run in a straight line. Even if it's for brief moments, that you just change up your moving pattern, it can make the difference between life and death. Now like especially with like bows and arrows and shit. Cause hitting a target with a bow and arrow and they're like wiggling around all crazy like and shit is like nigh impossible. But it's essentially no different with a rifle. So if a target is moving at the same rate, same relative distance, you just simply lead the shot, and then they run into your crosshair. Right? But if they're not going in necessarily a straight line, I mean it can be in the same direction, but if you just wiggle around just a little bit, you've made yourself substantially harder to hit. I should stop talking and orient myself. This is usually the test. Like RUF is usually like crawling with scavs. If you can't effectively take on scavs, it's probably the last extract you ever want to hit. Also, you got bigger problems than just finding a safe extract at that point. There's some good videos on how to fight scavs. In a way, it's kind of cheesing them, but I mean, like you can totally cheese the fuck out of scavs if you wanted, but it kind of like ruins the immersion. And it's not so bad that it's just like fucking broken. But if you at least learn it, then you like understand how they think and work and whatnot, and it makes it a lot easier. But if you just try to like head on scavs all the time, man, you're gonna fucking die a lot, because they're essentially just like an aimbot with like a certain percentage of success. So if you just let them roll the dice on you over and over again, you're gonna get popped. That's how that go. 3 half mass is Paca you can sell on the fleet for like 30k. So it makes it basically 10k a slot, which is like the target you're looking for. Pro tip right there. Glasses, I would normally never put this on, because it does this bug where it glows in the dark and you're easy to spot, but it's I'm about to extract anyway, so it doesn't matter. And it's also like a free slot, so I just came on with like another 2k. Woo. I'm gonna go spend it on something frivolous and unnecessary. That's what we do with the money we save, right? No, just kidding. This is a really quiet raid. It's like Ado. That was a little bit faster. Would have been a really good money maker. But it was a little too slow.